Welcome back to the channel, friends and family. My name is Gary. I'm the Card Father, and today I am giving you a business update. Now, it's been a hot minute since I've been on YouTube. It's been a hot minute since I made a video. It's been a while just because of the fact that life got busy, and I mean just busy. I have done so much recently. I've been through so many family things that have gone on. My main job, working for my main company, just doing the things that I need to do to keep the business running and to keep my family together, and all the craziness that comes along with the summer issues and things that go along with that. So it's been a very challenging summer. And I hit my 1-year marker just about a month and a half ago, where the business was started, went sole proprietor, so forth and so on. It's been a difficulty. It's been a difficulty recently. And the reason I'm giving this update is just because it makes sense. It's good. It's good things for me to tell people. But if you haven't liked the channel before, please do so down below. Like, comment, subscribe. It'd be perfect. I really appreciate it. My goal is to reach 750 followers and subscribers here recently and soon, because then that's my next goal, and then I get to go. And I've learned a couple of things along the way this last couple of weeks. So join me, because I plan on doing just more short versions of these like vlog things where I'm just kind of talking about the things that are going on with my business, but also I'm looking at kicking up a new series, an actual series. That's kind of what I've been doing, is just kind of scoping out, making some ideas, looking at some things, watching content, trying to get ideas from people and go through. But I'm looking at making my first series go on here, since we're moving into the winter time and into Christmas. I kind of want to make my first series. So that's one of the biggest things that I've been working on. The second biggest thing is I officially made my business, well, not really official, but it's more official. It's more recognized official. So I went from being a sole proprietor to now I have a full-blown LLC. Yeah, that's something I've never done before. Quite honestly, it's been a completely different change, trying to figure out all the scope and pieces of that. And it really is a testament to, like, when you have just starting and not really knowing anything, and getting to the point where you're not thinking about what you need to call your business, or what direction you need your business to go in, or how you structure your business, or the things you want to do, especially if it was like a side thing, which it wasn't for me. It never started as a side hobby, but it was a side, especially if it was a side thing that you just walked into and decided, hey, I'm going to start a business out of this. So I officially am now Card Father Games LLC. I stuck with the Card Father thing. There was a lot of different names out there. I won't give them to you because I'm still working on maybe pulling those into a DBA. But that was one of the biggest changes this last month. I decided to move to an LLC and decided to go full bore into having an actual, like, legitimized, out of sole proprietor business that, is a business. It's like fully fledged into a business. So yay for me. Thank you. Leave a comment down below. Thank you so much if you congratulate me and I don't respond, but thank you. It's one of the big things that I've been doing recently. But other things that have been coming up and creeping. I've done 15 card shows recently, and yes, I haven't done any point of view videos, or I've done one video where we went to one and I showed you some of the setup and some of the things that were going on. I haven't shown any of the deals that we've done, just because I'm a sole man. Yeah, that's right, sole man. I'm one person doing a lot of this work, and it gets to be a challenge on my own from time to time. So hopefully that's another thing that we are increasing to do, is having just having a camera set up next to me and just rolling the whole time, like doing 8 hours worth of footage or more, and then just editing it off. So getting to that. But there's some extra things that have occurred. There's some extra things that have been recently happening. We had back-to-back releases of Shrouded Fable, and then Delay of ETBs, and then booster bundles, and then now we're into Stellar Crown, and Pokemon just seems to keep revving up all of these releases, and it's been a little bit challenging keeping structure and keeping pace with that, especially when you have to buy inventory and sell inventory. And so that, for me right now, has been the biggest challenge, is how do I manage buying in inventory and not selling through inventory, right? And so I wanted to talk about that for just a moment here, because that's the biggest challenge that I'm facing right now in my business, is buying and selling. So I see like Pokey&E, Brian, I see Catch 'em All Collectibles. I know these guys have been doing this for like 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, whatever. But I see these guys selling things very quickly and very rapidly. And I'm trying to figure out in my own mind, and as well as my own business, how do I pick that up? Like, how do I get out there? Brian talks about, at Pokey&E, Brian talks about having legitimacy. So he has a business series in his channel where he teaches you, or he gives you the knowledge that he's used in order to get to that point. What a lot of these guys don't tell you, like Catch 'em All Collectibles, Pokey, let's see, who's another one that would be making a good sense? Deep Pocket Monster is another one. A lot of these guys who are buying and selling and having an actual business associated with Pokemon, the thing they don't tell you is when they started. Now, I've interviewed 15 local game stores here in Ohio. I've talked to every owner that I could that would talk with me. I have communed and conversed with online shop owners who have their businesses who've been going strong for a little while. And the common thing that has come up against everything is when they started. And the thing is that none of these guys, none of these girls, none of these people have started their business now. None of them started their business now. None of them started their business a year ago. None of them started their business 2 years ago. Okay? Where did they start? A lot of them started either right before COVID in 2019, 2020, or they started in the middle of COVID. And that led me to think about, well, how did these people build legitimacy? Like, how did they build trustworthiness? How did they actually do that? Well, they built it in a time when COVID was causing a lot of scammers to just come out of the woodworks. I mean, just like a lot of bugs were coming out of nowhere. And so they built their legitimacy based on the fact that they were selling something, and they built a reputation for selling something, and they built it, well and strong and quick enough. And it just kind of became a little off-putting, just a little. So I'm trying to figure out in my mind where where does that start? Like, how do I do that? Like, I've been doing that recently. Like, I mean, I've taken all of Pokey&E's advice. I have a website, which I got right off the bat because I knew that was going to be a must for an e-commerce store and somebody who, like me, just starting out, trying to build legitimacy. I have reviews on my website. I have a Pokemon trade feedback page that has a good amount of personal reviews. I'm out and about in the community. I'm talking with people. My name is becoming a little bit more familiarized, where people are coming to me and talking to me and wanting to know things, or they're texting me or emailing me or whatever. And shout out to my boy Cameron. Thank you very much for believing in me, man. I appreciate it. It's been a great, it's been a great run thus far, and I'm trying my best. So thank you for your words of encouragement. It really does help. Cameron's one of those people, and so there are these pieces and these parts that I'm trying to put together to make this happen. Because I'm not going to lie to you, like, I'm very transparent, and I think that's been the biggest thing for me, is being super transparent. And I'll give you an example of that here in just a moment. But I'm trying to figure out, how do I relate my relationship and my business? How do I generate more sales? How do I generate more opportunities to be legitimized? How do I generate more chances for me to become more trustworthy and more integrity filled for my business? Because I know that those things build that. If you listen to Pat Flynn at all, and you listen to anything he has to say outside of Deep Pocket Monster, if you listen to anything Pat Flynn says, it's about building a community. And I'm really trying to do that. Like, we're trying to build a brand. We're trying to build a community. We're not trying to take on the world here, but I am also not gaining the amount of sales that I want to gain. And I'm not gaining the amount of attention that I need to gain. I could run ads all day long. I could spend hundreds and thousands of dollars in ads, and it doesn't gain me anything. I did a litmus test, like an actual vetted test of 2 ads. I ran 2 ads, specifically one for Shrouded Fable and one for Stellar Crown. Out of those ads, I did a very small test range. It was only like $50 for the week, and I did it for a week, and I wanted to see what the target audience was and what the timing was and how I was going to get people in, just to see if any of these ad things would work. And so I reached impressions. I reached about 2,500 people, and in click-throughs, I reached 64. Now, that's awful. Those are awful numbers. If you know anything about in the marketing world or click-through rates or anything like that, that's awful. Those are terrible numbers. So I couldn't figure out why it was. So I redesigned my ad and did it again with the second ad for Stellar Crown. And again, I saw right around 2,300 impressions, and then I saw about 112. So I increased a little bit, 112 clicks onto my website, and I saw those people go through. And out of that, within my system that I use Shopify. Out of that, I saw 5 abandoned carts. So why am I seeing 5 abandoned carts and no sales? And that's my struggle. I think legitimacy is part of it. I also think exposure is a big piece. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, please put them down in the comments. If you're watching this, man, please reach out to me. I would love to just pick your brain. I know you don't do that, but for somebody who has inspired me to continuously move forward on this, to keep growing and to not give up, to not quit, and to keep moving, to light a fire under me and move on, man, I would really like to pick your brain and get some help. So if you're watching, Brian, please, I'd appreciate it. But let me give you the experience about how I know the legitimacy thing is a key piece to this, but also something that I'm trying to figure out even more so. So I recently just re-kicked back up my eBay store. I converted it to a business account because it was personal. So I converted it to a business account once my LLC went through, and I went ahead and changed everything and got everything up and running. Now, if you don't know anything about eBay, you get a free business account. You get so many listings a month, but then on top of it, you can pay for a monthly thing, which lowers your fees, and it gives you a little bit more tools and a little more access. You get marketing, you get coupons, all that things. So I haven't moved into that direction yet. So we're still in the free account for the business. So I re-kicked back up and I listed probably about 35 cards. I know that's nothing in comparison to what some other people are listing, like RNG Games, where those guys are listing thousands and thousands of things a week. But I'm not there yet. I'm still trying to build up to that. Like right now I have 25,000 on TCG Player, but I only have 35 on eBay. And so within that, I had a person buy a card from me from eBay. It was a Holo HD Cosmo Holo Energy Fire Energy, and it had the HD swirl, the Mewtail swirl in it. You know the one. It's a beautiful card. It's really cool. They're really neat, and I'm actually kind of happy. That was kind of like an Easter egg thing. Like it was kind of like a sneak in from Pokemon. It was pretty cool. Anyway, so he bought that card. We acquired that card. I acquired that card. I didn't pull that card. I didn't write on that card. I didn't do anything to that card, but there was damage on the card. I didn't notice. It was an honest mistake. And I put it in our scanner and I scanned the picture of it because it's the fastest method. I can do 6 at a time, scan them, and then I can just list my eBay stuff. I didn't know it was damaged. So apparently someone had circled around the Holo swirl. I didn't know that. But I sold the card not realizing it, and that was my bad because I didn't condition it correctly, and I should have. But I didn't think about it, and I just sold it, and I went off my business. Now, I sold it to him for like $10 or something. It was on eBay, and I get an email message back from this person, a mail message back from this person asking me, well, why would I do that? And then he immediately accuses me of being a scammer. Even though my process, my legitimacy is built already with enough sales, 100 sales plus on eBay. My legitimacy is built. I have 100% feedback rating, 100% on both TCG Player and eBay, and yet this guy decides to call me a scammer. He puts a big bold letters, scammer alert, tells me that I'm a scammer, and then he blatantly, and I'm not kidding you, he blatantly disrespects my wife in the comments. Now, I'm not going to show you the comments because it's not really worth my time, nor is it yours, but in turn, he basically calls me a giant scammer, and then he insults my wife. He puts an offense against my wife, which is unkind, is uncool, and I had to call his bullcrap out on it, quite frankly. And I messaged him back, and then I also commented on his comment, and I reported him to Facebook for eBay for abusive behavior. And then I turned around and I disputed the comment, which eBay declined to remove the comment. But eventually, in the last several hours after that, he went ahead and apologized. Don't get me wrong, that's great. I'm appreciative. But he was quick to judgment. He was quick to judgment against me, and I called him out on that. So my problem here is this is part of business, and I get that. So if you're going to comment down below and tell me, well, Dan, it's just part of business, stop crying. I'm not crying. There's no crying here. My problem is that I'm trying to build a relational piece to this, and I'm trying to generate more sales. And I don't know quite how to do that. So that's been my latest struggle. That's what we're trying to struggle with. So if you have any recommendations down below, please do so. I'm always quick to read them because I'm a narcissist, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a narcissist, but I'd like to know. And of course, if you find the time or need something from me, please visit my store, cardfathertcg.com, and pick something up, support me through that. That'd be awesome. I appreciate it. So as I always say, in this world, there's just a few people that you should love and enjoy, and I highly recommend that you do that, and you're blessed today. And just remember, you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. I'll see you on the next one.